As you can probably guess from the title of this video, this is more of a story time-ish kind of video. It's a little bit different than what you're used to seeing on my channel. If you're used to seeing anything on my channel, if you're not used to it, then hello, welcome. But yeah, I auditioned for Cirque du Soleil online as a physical actor, and it was quite the experience. A lot of unexpected things happened, a lot of really challenging things happened. So this video is essentially, in essence, what happened, what I learned, and what is next. So yeah, strap yourselves in, grab a snack, and let's get to it. So I saw earlier this year, 2019, a posting on the Cirque du Soleil's audition page for a job for a physical actress or dancer or circus performer. And this job was for their new show that that's in creation right now, or in production right now, for the Disney Springs show. And it's supposed to center around like Disney animation and things like that. And it's super cool. So I saw the posting, and I check online about every year around this time, because it's when they have their general auditions, and I always told myself that if a general audition was going to be anywhere in my area that I would go, and unfortunately there's none in my area, so I didn't leave the house. But I saw this posting, and the description of the person that they were looking for was so specific, like physically, like they said they needed somebody that was like 5 feet tall, about 100 pounds, and I was like, there's no way that this is like an actual thing. Like, is this happening? I was questioning my reality, because in the past, I have been denied roles because of how short I am. I am 5 feet tall and about 100, 105, around there. And yeah, I've been denied roles for how short I am, but this was a weird thing to stumble upon. It's like, no, because you're so small, we want you. And I thought, there's no way this is real, but I was, reading more into it, and I saw that, no, this was a legit thing. So, they said you need about a minute or so of an introduction, and they have a description of what they need from you, like, your name, where you're from, where you live now, a brief description of your background in whatever you're auditioning for, like theater, dancer, things like that. Like how long you've been doing it. And of course you do send in a resume as well, headshot, full body shot, along with this 1 minute intro. And then you need about a 5-minute video of you performing your craft. And luckily I had about a 5-minute fight scene that was recorded of and it was taken from a performance of The Miracle Worker that I had done, in which I played Helen Keller. And the cool thing about that clip was that it was all physicality. Really tough stuff, in my opinion, but it was all physicality, which is what they're looking for when you're auditioning for a physical actor. I would not recommend, if you're submitting a video for physical acting, to really speak in it. So if you're thinking about doing something like that, definitely pick out a video in which you're not talking and your body gets to talk for you. But anyway, that video is still on my channel. It should be like the first video on my channel, my Cirque du Soleil audition. But anyway, if you're interested, you can go ahead and check that out. So yeah, I filmed just like I'm doing now, like a 1 minute sort of introduction. And it was so, just real quick, it was so cringeworthy, just because I'm a stage performer, right? I'm a stage actor. I love performing live theater. Not to say that there's anything wrong with film or camera work. It's just never been my specialty, my comfort zone. So me filming, just like talking about myself as myself, was a bit challenging, and that's essentially why I started YouTube, just to get more comfortable talking and presenting myself in front of the camera. These videos that I make are really for no one but me. And if anybody finds them entertaining, then I guess that's great too. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the story of that. And as far as headshot and like body shot goes, I at the time had no very up-to-date headshots that I could present, much less up-to-date headshots that made me, with the right angle, look quite young, because this character that I was auditioning for was like 11, 12, or was supposed to pass for 11 or 12 years old. So I set up my camera like on my hamper, like I'm doing right now, and I set up like one directional light, and I took a photo and I submitted that. Was it perfect? No. I probably could have gotten something a lot better for, you know, a professionally done and shot photo. But anyway, it was what I had. So yeah, I submitted that, and when I tried to submit my video on their website, this is where things take a turn. It just wouldn't work. Like, I tried on my laptop, I tried on a few desktops, I tried on my the desktop, the shared desktop at work, and just nothing worked. And it was probably me, something that I was missing, something that I was doing, but it was like, okay, drag and drop your file, or like click here to upload your multimedia file. And it just wasn't working. And like, I tried everything. Like, I tried reformatting the file and exporting it and doing all this stuff, and it just, nothing worked. So I emailed. There was an email provided on the audition website, an email provided specifically from, like, I guess that casting director, like, hey, if you have any questions or if you run into issues, like, email this person. And I did, and I was like, hi. So I'm having this issue, and this is what I'm seeing on my screen, and it's just not clickable for me. What can I do? Is there something I'm missing? And I got a reply back from their, like, do not reply general, like, Cirque du Soleil email. And I read it several times over, but from what I gathered from it was, oh, you need to click submit first, and then upload, and then click submit again. There were 2 submit buttons on the page. One was for, like, I can't remember. It was like this was months ago that this was a thing. It was like submit for your, like, headshot and your, like, the files, and then another submit when everything was ready. And I hadn't clicked submit because I was afraid that I would submit and no files would be attached to it. So I'm rereading this email, and I'm like, okay, from what I'm gathering, it says click submit and then upload and then submit again. And I click submit, and wouldn't you know it, the whole freaking thing was submitted. And then it's like, thank you for your interest or your submission or whatever it said. And I about lost my mind. I was like, there's no way. This is life right now. So essentially, my first attempt at submitting my application failed miserably. Nothing was attached to it. And so I'm freaking out, and I emailed them back saying, hi, so you just received my application. Unfortunately, there are no files attached to it. Is there anything I can do? What else can I try? Can I share my video file through an email, or do I have to upload it to something else? Like, and all these things. And then I get a reply like, oh, it seems that your application is lacking in any, like, material. And I'm like, really? And so, but anyway, so we're back and forth emailing, and at the very least I annoyed them, so my name is probably familiar at this point. But anyway, I ended up having to upload my video submission onto YouTube so that I can share the link with them, and that's why it's the first video on my channel. I've never uploaded anything before that. So yeah, they saw it, they reviewed it, and about a week later, I got an email. I think it was on a Monday. I got an email and it essentially said, you're on to the next step of the application process, of the online application process. And so in this email, it was detailed, like, more of what they would need from me. They wanted another video, a bit longer, and the email detailed, like, specifics about the character, very little about the show in its entirety, but more so the character. And it included a video from the director, again, just breaking down exactly what he's looking for in these exercises that he's wanting you to film. And it was just so, like, thought out and detailed, and a lot of effort was put into it, and I I really appreciated that. I thought, like, this is more than I think I could have ever asked for. Like, first of all, getting an email back that they even liked what I sent. And never in a, I'll get into the sappy stuff later, I guess. But yeah, the fact that the director went out of his way to, like, have someone film him, like, saying exactly what he's looking for, like, that's so valuable, I think. And he mentioned that I could also, if I wanted to, submit, like, my own interpretation of the character, and I thought that was really great that the director included that. But anyway, I won't get into the details of the character just because they did mention a thing about I can't share this video at all because the stuff in it is pretty confidential. The show's not up yet, so you can see why they wouldn't want that stuff floating around. But anyway, so yeah, I saw the email and I lost my mind. I was crying like the whole day. I had a rehearsal for another play, like a few hours after I read the email, and I was still crying in the rehearsal and just bawling my eyes out because a little bit of sappiness, I guess, if you don't mind. If you're just here for details about specifically the application process, you could probably skip this. But I I love acting. I've been doing it for 13 years, 14 years, around there. And I never thought of it as something that I would do professionally. I always thought of it as, this is what I love to do, this is where my heart is, but I'll probably end up teaching, which there's nothing wrong with that. I've taught for several years now, like theater classes and acting and things like that. And it's a beautiful thing. And I was never really going to try for something big like this. You know what I mean? I thought, well, if I ever do audition for Cirque du Soleil, which is like my dream, it is like, I don't want, like, Broadway's beautiful, but I don't think my place is there. And like film work is beautiful, but I don't think my place is there. I feel like my place is with Cirque, and it's okay that it didn't happen now. So spoiler alert, it didn't happen. Why do you think I'm in front of my bookshelf? Which I will do a bookshelf tour. That's coming soon, but I need 2 bookends, and I've not been able to find any. So if you have any recommendations for where I can get really cool bookends, send a nerd a link. That'd be great. But anyway, I always thought that even applying was something, either one, that was just not in the cards for me. Either that, or I'm going to give it a couple of years so that I can really continue to work and continue to grow as a performer, and then I'll try. But this just jumped out at me, and I thought I would be absolutely insane if I didn't at least try. You know what I mean? Because it's better to try and, like, get a no than to never try and never know what could have happened. So anyway, back to the process. So yeah, sent in my first tape, got the email back saying that they wanted another one. And I guess that's like a Cirque version of a callback. It was called The Next Step. But anyway, and then a couple days later, I had already filmed most of the exercises. I just needed like one more. A couple days later, I was at work, and for those of you who don't know, I work as a voice actor. So when I'm at work, I have a live microphone, and so my phone is on nighttime mode so that it doesn't ring, it doesn't anything, but I still see that I got like a call. And I'm on my break, and I pick up my mic, and I look at my phone, and there was a missed call from freaking Canada, and I was like, I was beside myself, like, oh my gosh, did I just miss a freaking call from Cirque du Soleil? Like, I'm going to jump out a window now. And then, in addition to the missed call, there was a Facebook message. Like, this casting director found me on Facebook. I mean, she had my number, of course, in my email, but she Facebook messaged me, and she was like, hi, just calling, wanted to make sure that you got the email. Looking forward to hearing back from you, something like that. Just wanted to touch base, see where we were, and that you were still interested. And I replied back, like, yes, I am very much still interested. Thank you so much for your consideration and all that jazz. And the email gave me a week to record and submit everything. And I told her, like, don't worry, like, it'll be all uploaded within the week. And she goes, well, you can take more time if you need to, because she wasn't going to meet with the creative team for a little while. And again, I thought, oh my god, that's so sweet. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, ugh. Just like people going out of their way to make sure that, you have everything you need. And that was just very, very refreshing, and I appreciated it a lot. And so my video was due on a Monday officially. So Sunday and Monday, I was the entire day trying to submit this thing, because again, I was running into technical issues, and it was essentially the same thing, that the file just wouldn't upload, or she would get it and then she would email back to me like something was up with the file, like the video wasn't playing, or it was playing or without audio, or just like different things like that. And just so much technical setbacks until finally, like, I sent it, and I believe it worked, because the last thing I think I got from her was like, yes, she received it and it looks like it works. So that was that. And that posting has been up, I think, either December 2018 or January 2019. It's been a while. And they just took it down this September. So it's safe to say that I did not get the job, which is totally fine. But in case you didn't know, or if you're wondering, like, if you're in the online application process for this company, if you're not taken into consideration, they don't contact you, right? So if you just submit one thing and they just don't get back to you for a good while, and the post has been taken down, the show's already up and running, somebody's filled the job, like, you can, at a certain point, you can assume that you didn't get it this time around, but you can try again next year, or you can try again later. In this case, I was contacted after my first submission, and then a few times after that, but just because of all the technical things that I was running into. But then they don't like send you an email saying, thank you for your interest, however, we're not going to choose you at this time. Like, you don't get that. You don't get the no. You get the assumption of no. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, this was a really eye-opening experience for me. Again, I'd never attempted anything this big, and this is like the biggest thing, like, that one can attempt in an acting career, in my opinion, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So what's next? I am in a play right now, a children's play, locally, and it's a whole lot of fun. And for the play, like, I'm learning how to ride a unicycle, and there's, like, this really cool dance, like, piece that I get to do as a solo, and it's so interesting that I get to do those types of things as an actor, you know what I mean? Like, I've always loved when I get involved in a show, and then I'm pushed, and then I'm challenged, and then, like, my range gets developed and things like that. So I am still working on it, so that by the time another thing, I am also looking into, like, dance classes and movement classes, just because I personally, right now as it is, I would like to be more in command of my body. Not that I have a total lack of command, but there's always room for improvement. So that's what I'm going to be working on until I try again, because I am going to try again, absolutely. Like, if I just having them get back to me saying, we want to see something else, and we are interested, at least to some degree, just having that really plants the seed of, you know what, maybe this is in the cards for me. Maybe this could be my life at some point, and if it didn't happen right now, that's totally fine. Like, as an actor, you do have to get used to, rejection, or being let down, or really, really looking forward to something and having it not work out, and that's totally fine. Like, you gotta understand, if you want to be an actor, you do need a thick skin to a degree, right? Just because you don't get something, it's not personal. It doesn't mean that they hate you, or it doesn't mean that they're never going to give you another chance again. No. For me, at least, if I'm directing something and I have an actor come to me and I see that they're not ready yet and I decide to go another direction, let's say a year from then, they come back and in their audition I see just how much progress they've made. I get the impression that, okay, this person knows what it means to improve and knows what it means to highlight areas that, you know, aren't so strong and then build them up. You know what I mean? I feel like when I audition again, I want to be a whole lot better than what I presented the first time around. You know what I mean? Because if the first time around left some sort of a good impression, then there's hope. You know what I mean? And I will try and I will try and I will try as many times as it takes. Call me obsessive or whatever, but at the end of the day, who's it really going to hurt to keep trying? Because I'm going to be growing as an actor. So like even if I don't get cast there, locally a job opportunity might open up in which all this work will have some sort of payoff. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to improve or to want to improve for next time around. But yeah, so I guess that's the story time if I can sum it up. And I hope you found it not entertaining so much as informative. And yeah, if you have any sort of questions about anything, leave them down in the comments below and we'll get to them. In the meantime, I do hope you have a great day and thanks for checking out my channel.